Would you believe me if I say you can explore Europe on less than $55 a day in 2025? From castles in Prague cheaper than coffee to Budapest's thermal baths under a movie ticket, it's all possible. I've rounded up 10 destinations with real budgets, flight deals, and travel hacks. Check the description for all the links to plan your trip. Let's kick off the countdown with number. The countdown begins in Valletta, Malta's pocket-sized capital, where fortress walls rise above a bright blue harbor. A UNESCO World Heritage City, it's a maze of Baroque palaces and golden stone streets glowing in the Mediterranean sun. Yet, it can be done on just $44 to $55 a day. Hostels run $17 to $22, buses across the island cost $2, and a warm pastéis pastry is just $1. Highlights are budget-friendly too. Upper Baraka Gardens are free, the Blue Lagoon Ferry is $11 round trip, and St. John's Co-Cathedral is $17. Flights this fall are a steal. Round trips from New York start around $500. For a bonus adventure, skip the tours and take the $6 ferry to Gozo. This nearby island feels like a whole new destination without stretching your budget. Coming in at number 9 is Bucharest, Romania's capital, often nicknamed the Paris of the East. With grand boulevards, ornate buildings, and a lively cafe culture, it feels elegant without straining your wallet. You can live comfortably here on $33 to $44 a day. Dorm beds cost $11 to $17, metro rides run about 55 cents, and a plate of midité sausages is roughly $3.50. The Palace of Parliament is $11 if you'd like a glimpse inside, but the Old Town is free to wander and full of energy. Flights across the Atlantic are affordable too. New York to Bucharest often comes in around $450 round trip, cheaper than most Western hubs. To make the most of your stay, use Bucharest as a base. For about $22 by bus, you can reach the Carpathian Mountains and visit Bran Castle, forever tied to the Dracula legend. At number 8 is Riga, Latvia, the cheapest capital in Europe today. Think colorful old town squares, soaring church towers, and ornate Art Nouveau facades, all for a fraction of Western European prices. You can live well on $33 to $44 a day. Hostels cost $9 to $13, meals $4 to $7, and local transport $1.65 per ride. Many of the best sites don't cost a cent. Wander the medieval Old Town or stroll the riverside parks. Paid highlights are cheap too, like the House of Blackheads at $8. Flights aren't bad either. Round trips from New York hover near $500 this fall, with occasional sales for flexible travelers. For a budget-friendly meal, skip restaurants and head to the Central Market. Just $6 buys fresh rye bread, smoked fish, and local specialties. Proof that dining like a local can feel like a feast. 7th on the list is Sarajevo, a city with a story unlike anywhere else in Europe. Ottoman bazaars, Austro-Hungarian boulevards, and a mountain backdrop give it a layered cinematic charm. Daily costs are refreshingly low, $33 to $44 a day is plenty. Guest houses run $17 to $22 a night, a plate of cevapi is about $3.50, and tram rides cost just over $1. Highlights are affordable too. Wander the Bashcharshia Bazaar, ride the Trebovich cable car for $2.20, or visit the War Tunnel Museum for $11. Flights are pricier than the rest, with round trips from New York usually between $600 and $700, but once you're here, everything else is a bargain. For a magical side trip, take a $22 bus to Mostar. Crossing its famous stone bridge feels like stepping into a fairy tale, and it remains one of the Balkans' best-kept secrets. Landing at number 6 is Porto, Portugal's riverside gem, where terracotta rooftops tumble down to the Douro River. Birthplace of port wine, it's surprisingly affordable, with tasting starting at just $6. A daily budget of $44 to $55 is plenty. Hostels cost $13 to $20, seafood meals $7 to $10, and the metro around $2.20. Exploring the Ribeira district is free, climbing the Clerigos Tower is $9, and wine cellar tours begin at $6. Flights are friendly too. New York to Porto often dips as low as $400 round trip, especially if you watch Tappy Air's seasonal deals. And here's the trick, use Porto as your springboard. Low-cost airlines like Ryanair run $22 to $55 hops to Spain, France, or Italy, letting you add a second country to your trip without stretching your budget. Halfway through the list is Lisbon, Portugal's sun-soaked capital. With vintage trams climbing steep hills, tiled facades catching the light, and sweeping Atlantic views, it's both vibrant and affordable by Western European standards. A budget of $44 to $55 a day is plenty. Dorm beds run $17 to $22, a transport pass is about $6.50, and a pastel de nata with coffee costs under $3.50. The city's best experiences don't strain your wallet. Ride the iconic tram 28 for $3.30, watch the sunset from Alfama's viewpoints for free, or step into history at Belém Tower for $6.50. Flights here are some of the best deals in Europe. TAP Air often runs New York to Lisbon round trips for under $400, sometimes less. Once there, ditch the taxis. Lisbon's trams and buses are not only cheaper but double as moving viewpoints, winding through colorful neighborhoods and giving you a taste of daily life. Taking the fourth spot is Sofia, Bulgaria, one of Europe's cheapest capitals and still one of its most underrated. Ottoman mosques, Orthodox cathedrals, and scattered Roman ruins make up the city's patchwork of history, while the Vitoša Mountains rise beyond the skyline. Living here is refreshingly affordable. A daily budget of $33 to $44 is enough for everything. Dorm beds cost $9 to $13, tasty banitsa pastries are priced at $3 to $5, and unlimited bus travel is just over $1. The Alexander Nevsky Cathedral is free to enter, Roman ruins cost $3, and the hikes in nearby Vitoša, completely free. Flights aren't bad either. Round-trip flights from New York usually start around $500, often with a layover in Istanbul. To experience Sofia like a local, pick up fresh pastries from a bakery and picnic in the mountains. For just over $2, you'll get views worth a fortune. Cracking the top three, we have Budapest, Hungary, a city where you can soak in 19th century thermal baths by day and party in ruin bars by night, all on a backpacker's budget. You'll get by on $39 to $50 a day. Dorms cost $11 to $17, market hall lunches are $4.50, and metro rides come to about $1.10. Even the big-ticket experiences won't break the bank. Weekday entry to the Sechenyi baths is around $22, and ruin bars don't charge entry, with drinks about $3.30. Flights from the US are usually mid-range. New York to Budapest averages $450 to $550, often via Lufthansa or Austrian. To stretch your budget further, skip restaurants and eat like a local at the Great Market Hall. $5.50 buys a plate of Hungarian classics, leaving cash for a pint in one of those legendary bars. Runner-up at number 2 is Prague, Czechia's fairytale capital. Cobblestone lanes, Gothic spires, and the Charles Bridge at sunset make it one of Europe's most iconic cities. But despite the tourist crowds, it's still affordable. A budget of $44 to $55 a day covers you. Dorms are $13 to $20, meals like hearty goulash cost $7 to $9, and metro passes are around $4.40. Top experiences include the astronomical clock and Charles Bridge, both free, and a castle complex ticket for $11. And let's not forget, beer here is famously cheaper than water, at around $2.20 a pint. Flights from New York often dip to $400 to $500 with budget carriers like Icelandair. For nightlife, join a $17 pub crawl, complete with free drinks, new friends, and a crash course in Prague's legendary bar scene. And finally, topping the list at number 1 is Krakow, Poland, arguably Europe's best mix of history, charm, and budget-friendly living. Think medieval squares, lively student bars, and hearty pierogi meals, all without Western European prices. You'll spend $39 to $50 a day. Hostels cost $11 to $17, street food runs $6 to $8, and a tram pass is $1 to $4.50. Many experiences are free, like strolling Renek Główny or joining a Jewish Quarter walking tour. Even Wawel Castle entry is only $5.50. Flights are reasonable too. New York to Krakow averages $450 to $550, with good connections on LOT Polish Airlines. For the best local dining, skip trendy cafes and head to a milk bar. These old-school canteens serve full Polish meals for about $3.30, cheaper than your morning coffee back home. That's the list, 10 European destinations where you can experience more while spending less. From thermal baths in Budapest to milk bars in Krakow, each city proves big adventures don't need big budgets. Which one would you visit first? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your pick. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with a fellow traveler. Ready to start planning? All the flight deals, stays, and budget travel resources are linked in the description to help you get going. Until next time, safe travels.